I'm in a fucking great mood today. I don't know why. I just am. This is episode 45.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Born and raised in South Bay, lower class punk ass, I was Northwood grade. I had it made. Spent my nights drinking with my mates. Just a short bus ride up to PA. Red River Red. Then I hit the wall and I knew I had to bounce. They still say that 19 years ago. Hell, I got the hell out. From time to time you may see me hanging around. Now I feel like a stranger in this town. Crocs and rolls is where I learned to play. Westwood Tavern's where I learned to walk.
Yeah, hey, what's going on? My name is Mike. This is episode 45 of Ego and Vice. Like I said, I'm in a great mood today. I don't know what's overcome. I don't know what's taken me over. It's I think it's like 9:30 in the morning, and I just woke up in a good mood. You know, sometimes you do that. And you just got to go with it, man. You just got to fucking roll with it. Because sometimes you wake up and you're in a shitty mood. Normally I wake up and I'm in a shitty mood. I've always kind of been a morning person, but over the last 6 months, morning blows. I wake up and I'm thankful that I actually wake up and I'm still alive, but then I'm like, oh, I got to do all my shit that I do and whatever. But today is a different day. I woke up in a great mood, so let's do that. And I said, you know what? I'm going to mix this podcast. I'm going to edit this podcast. I did this podcast about 4 days ago, I think. And I've been sitting on it because I've been trying to find some motivation to get around to it. But I had a guy in the studio. His name is Andy Negative. He is a local musician, super fucking talented guy, super nice guy too. We had a really good sit down, really good conversation. Talked about his history, what he does in the Ottawa music scene, and the man can put together a song. Melody, forget about it. This guy's got it all figured out. And he's from a band called Quinzel. He's been playing in Ottawa for probably, he said, almost 2 decades. And just playing in bands, punk bands, and doing his acoustic thing. He wrote a, what did he call it? A punk ropera. It's like a punk rock opera, which I'm going to be showcasing on Ego and Vice Spotlight. I'll probably have that out next week, provided that I find the motivation to do it. But it is stellar. It's rad, and it's awesome, and I need Ottawa to hear it. For the people that haven't heard it, I'm sure he has a great following, and a lot of people have heard it, but I want the people of Ego and Vice to hear the punk ropera. But that is next week. Let's concentrate on this week. Andy Negative is in South Hood Studio. We had a great conversation. Everything he talks about is super interesting. The guy's a really interesting dude. So we'll get to that. Yeah, I don't have much to talk about, as I normally don't, I suppose. Got our tour itinerary, the Riptides, for our U.S. tour, which is pretty rad. Pretty excited about that, which we're leaving in November. Starting in Atlanta, Georgia, ending in Dallas, Texas. That's going to be a rager. Jesus Christ. I hope I make it back. I hope I live through it. What else is going on? Goat's got a couple shows coming up on October 4th with Voice of Addiction out of Chicago. We're playing at Avant Garde. It's going to be an awesome show. And it's also the return show of Miss Sarah Destruction to the Goat family. We had a band practice the other night. Went awesome. Felt like no time had passed. And really, really excited to have her back in the fold, if you will. The next show is we are playing with 10 Foot Pole on October 21st at Mavericks. And that's going to be a rad one too. And I think that's going to be the new Goat EP release show. I've been kind of putting it off. I was supposed to release it September 4th, but I said, fuck it. I'm going to wait till October. I think October is a better time. That being said, I think I'm going to debut a brand new GOAT track. Listen to me, I'm like fucking VJ Master P from Much Music. Oh, party people, I'm going to release a track. A new GOAT song, all right? We're getting older. I'm getting older. I can't write songs the way I used to. But hey, man, you're going to get some stuff as it comes out. So before we get into our conversation with Andy Negative, I am going to play a song off the new GOAT EP. It's called Love You, Fuck You. Not the song, but the actual EP. But we've condensed it down because we thought it was too harsh. And like I said, I'm getting old and I don't want to offend the kids. So we're going to call it Lufu. Lufu. How's that? You guys okay with that? As always, send me your comments, egoandvice@gmail.com. And I won't change my mind. But I could be swerved the other way. Perhaps not, though. Lufu. All right. So on the other side of this song, it is called... This GOAT song doesn't even have a song. The working title is Chugs, so we'll just call it Chugs. This is a brand new GOAT song, and it sucks. So on the other side of it, we're coming back with Andy Negative, and we had, like I said, we had a great conversation, and he is far more interesting than I am. So check it out. This is episode 45, Ego and Vice, brand new GOAT song, Chugs. On the other side, Mr. Andy Negative. Hey, what's going on? We're back. My name is Mike. This is Ego and Vice. This is episode 45. I always like the 5, 10, 15, 20 ones because it feels like I've accomplished something. I've climbed a little bit of a mountain. So whether it's 43 or 44, they're like, meh. But you hit a 45, bang. I'm 5 more to 50. October 15th will be when I record my 50th Ego and Vice episode. I already have it mapped out on my calendar. I got my good friend Paulie J. Fox coming in, and I also have my good buddy Chris Landry, and I think we're going to try and figure out how to do it live. I don't know if that's going to work. I'm probably going to fall flat on my fucking face, and it's going to sound like every other episode, but who cares, because that's all I know how to do, and that's what I do. Anyway, as I said in the intro, I have Andy Negative in the South Hood studio.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Just kicking it, drinking my coffee.
Yeah,
It's nice.
That's cool, man.
It's
Andy,
good coffee, man.
is it good?
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
I was worried. Normally, I have a fridge full of beer for my guests, and they dig right into it. But as soon as Andy got here, I didn't even have the coffee on. He's like, "No, I'll have a coffee." I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah, well, you know what it is.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
I work nights, so it's like, oh well, I need coffee at like 7:00 so I can get my evening going.
It's Tuesday, though. You're not working tonight, right?
No, but you gotta have it going. You know how it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me and Andy recently played a gig together at oh Jesus Christ,
It was at Coven. Yeah.
There it is. It's a local, I guess, cafe downtown, which is kind of like a metal.
Yeah,
like a heavy
metal bar.
Yeah, it's fucking really cool. They got skulls and all kinds of crazy shit going on. It's kind of a smaller place, but it's a great vibe, great atmosphere. And we did like an acoustic show there.
Yeah.
Which was pretty rad. And that's where we kind of met.
Yeah.
And I approached you and said, "Hey, want to be on the podcast?" And you're like, "Fucking not really, but yeah, I'll come out."
Podcasts. People still do those things? That's still a thing? I don't know. All right, let's do it.
You're a local musician with a podcast? Wow, that's fucking amazing. Anyway, so what have you been up to? What's going on? How's the band?
Boy.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My band Quinzel is pretty good. We're writing a full length record right now. We just started pre-production, recording demos basically in our jam space, which is like my bass player's parents' basement, which is pretty,
Just keeping it real.
Yeah, it's like high school all over again.
Yeah,
I'm 30. It's no big deal.
No problem.
And then I'm, put out that punk rock opera, and then just starting to get ready for my Halloween stuff because it's Halloween time in my world. So
there it is.
Yeah.
Where did it all begin? How long you been playing music?
Holy crap! Since I was like 13ish, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
And what was that all
A
about?
long time ago. I just I picked up my dad's guitar. He had just like an acoustic guitar kicking around. He used to play for us when we were kids, and I just started dicking around on it, and it was strung the wrong way around for me because I just picked it up and started playing it like left-handed. My dad's like, "That's wrong, but we'll go get you a left-handed guitar so you can do it yourself the right way around."
You're a lefty, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh, okay, there you go.
And then
get the fuck out of my house.
Oh fuck.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'll leave. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
Proceed.
Yeah, and then we just fucking, I don't know. I just started playing guitar in like a punk rock band in high school, and was like, this is rad. I want to just do this, I think, forever. And that's pretty much what I've been doing, is that forever.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I think I picked up my first guitar when I was about 14 and just started doing the doing, doing. And then I wanted to get better at it, and I haven't really, but...
No, me neither. It's crazy.
I'm capable of doing what I need to do with it. Yeah. And you are a singer-songwriter. You're in bands, but you're a songwriter for sure, obviously.
I like writing music.
Yeah.
It's
Do you remember the earlier days of like writing songs? Did you just like...
Shit. I remember like one of the first things I ever wrote, because like I started on bass, because like the band that asked me to, like the reason I started playing this band was like, hey, come play with us. And I was like, I do want to do that. And they're like, we need a bass player. And I was like, all right, sweet. Sure. What? It's the same as guitar, I guess. And I'm like literally sitting like under my computer desk with like a shitty computer microphone hanging down in front of my bass amp as I'm like writing out like tablature of like 0001, 0001, 3000, and like do. That song didn't go anywhere, I don't think, but that was like the first thing I ever tried to write.
Sounds like a hit. Sounds like something I wrote yesterday.
Yeah, well, I think that inspired metalcore is what it was. Is that riff?
That was it.
Yeah,
that was the one.
Yeah,
I heard about that. I read about that somewhere actually.
That's the one.
Fuck, should have sold it. Anyway, so you started playing, I guess, acoustic guitar. You started playing in bands. What were your first when you first started getting into bands? How was that? When you were, I guess you were obviously underage, and were you? Are
13,
you from Ottawa?
Yeah, I'm from Ottawa. Yeah.
What would a local band with a bunch of underage people? Where would they go? I wasn't raised in Ottawa. I'm from Thunder Bay.
Oh, okay.
So I know what we did. We'd rent like bingo halls and fire halls.
There are people in Thunder Bay? I didn't realize.
There might be a few left.
Okay, yeah.
They're not very good people. I'm sorry, Thunder Bay friends. No, yeah, Thunder Bay's still a thing. But what did you guys do when you were younger to try and like put on shows and stuff like that?
We had like obviously there's talent shows and coffee houses at like because I was out in one of the boroughs, and so the high school would put on coffee houses and talent shows and stuff, which is okay. But we would do there was like a rec center in Stittsville, and there'd be a lot of shows would go on at this rec center, local bands and stuff like that. Like even Spectrasonic way back had a couple shows out there, I think, stuff like that.
What was the production company called, or promotion company before Spectrasonic? It's passing me
can't
by.
for the life of
It'll
me
come to
remember.
me afterwards. Anyway,
I don't know.
When I was a kid, well, younger, when I was like in my teens and stuff like that, tell me if you can relate to this at all. Did you have like a big no? Did you have like a big circle of like musician friends or something like that, or did you have like the same like 5 or 6 friends that you had like 5 different bands, but it was always like the same bunch of guys just in different incarnations of things?
It was literally like 3 people. It was me and one other guy, and then like whatever other people we could convince to play music with us for as long as they would, until they were like, yeah, I don't want to do this. And I was like, damn it. We went through like 17 drummers or something crazy like that.
Crazy. I think I was in when I was a teenager, I think I was in like 6 bands, but it was always the same fucking people.
Same thing
Just we were gonna change our name, and this time we're gonna play fucking grunge or whatever. I don't know. That's pretty funny.
Grunge punk and punk rock and garage punk and.
So
Yeah.
as you went through, I guess, high school and stuff like that, you played in a lot of bands. When did you start actually, like, I guess Quinzel's obviously not your first, like...
Quinzel's pretty new, actually, like maybe a year and a half, 2 years old.
Okay, when did
Yeah.
you, like, establish a band? Were you in a band that stuck for a while? Or like...
Yeah, I did. My high school band was, as most high school bands, didn't really pan out once high school was over because, people want to go do other stuff. And I started being like, oh, I want to write songs. I want to do the songwriter thing. So I picked up a really bad name and then started writing songs, and I spent 10 years doing that. There was a band for a little while. It was like a horror punk kind of thing. I call it the Face Paint Band. Anybody that knows me can, knows what I'm talking about, and I'd like to leave it at that.
Okay.
But I did that for a long time. We toured a bunch, and we did a lot. We did a lot of stuff, and then it just like, as things do, it fell apart, and yeah.
As things do.
Yeah.
In between bands and stuff, because you are a singer-songwriter, what I used to do was if I had a band, and you take it to its duration, I guess, and eventually bands break up and stuff like that. But in between bands, I'd always go out and book like acoustic shows and shit, or I'd go do like an open stage and stuff like that. Is that something that you...
Pretty much when that band, because I put a lot into that band. It was like kind of my main focus for a long time. And then when that kind of super imploded in on itself, I was like, oh, I had a whole tour booked actually. East Coast and on East Coast Canada and Ontario. I had this like whole big tour booked. It was like a 2-week or 3-week tour, and I'd put a lot of work into it. And so the band like split, and I was like, well, I'm not giving up on this tour that I spent the past like 6 months
Did you go by yourself?
booking. Yeah, I went by myself.
That's awesome.
I lost a lot of dates because like the East Coast stuff, it was like the first time we were gonna ever be out there. So you go like, oh yeah, I got this touring band. It's this kind of thing, and then you're like, hey, never mind, I don't have a band. I'm just touring solo. And they're like, yeah, we don't want to do that. But all the Ontario places, because we've done it so often, we're like, yeah, whatever, man, just come do it.
Yeah, man. Well, it's another band on the venue, right? I have a friend named Chris Landry that I just touched on, who's going to be on episode 50, and he has a band. He's called Chris Landry and the Seasick Mamas, and
Nice.
they're an amazing band. And I don't know if something happened or what fell through, and that's what he did too. He was just like, fuck it, and he went and did the tour by himself, just solo acoustic stuff.
I'm glad to hear that it's the same kind of thing with other people.
Yeah. Do you prefer one or the other, or is it all two different animals?
It's so different.
Yeah.
It's so different. Playing in a punk rock band is great because you jump around like an idiot, and you can like fuck up a ton, and especially as a guitar player, like no one cares.
No.
It's great. And then as an acoustic guitar player, you're like, okay, I have to stand in front of this microphone and be entertaining and not fuck up a lot. Okay, let's do my best here. So
Right.
it's totally a different monster.
I do. Although that show that we played at the Coven, that was the first kind of acoustic thing I've done in quite a while. Yeah. Back in the when I was a little bit younger, about 10 years ago and stuff, I was between bands and I did lots of acoustic things. Or I did something. I recorded that. There's that CD up there. It's called Ohio Jones and the Nobodies.
Oh, yeah.
It was after one of my bands broke up, and I bought this like digital drum kit. And I went into my buddy's studio and I wrote like a 10-song punk record.
Nice.
And I just played everything and just... It was like, I guess it's solo singer-songwriter, but it was like a punk band type of thing.
That's
but
cool.
Yeah, but I always go in and I'll always write, because everything I write on my... for Goat or for anything always comes from that shitty old Ovation guitar.
I've been staring at it. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's old as shit.
I
got
the Foo
that...
Fighters
Yeah,
sticker-ish.
I got that thing for that guitar for free about 15 years ago, and
Nice.
I've never bought a new acoustic guitar. It still sounds good, fuck. But everything I've written over the last like well, I guess since I've had that guitar, has been on that thing. And some days I'll write songs that don't work for Goat.
Yeah.
And, well, I used to. And I would just go and do an acoustic thing. You know, I'd book myself a little opening slot or something like that. And I love it. You know what I mean? It scares the shit out of me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I find when you play in a band a long time, because I play in 2 bands. One time I played up to 3 bands where I was performing a lot, but as a member of a band. And I won't say you become complacent, but you start losing that little kind of nervous energy. It's more like, are we on now? Okay, you get up there and you have fun and it's fucking energy and it's really great. But whenever I booked myself like a little opening acoustic thing, it's one of those things where I wake up in the morning and I'm like, fuck, do I actually have to do that tonight?
Yup.
You know, because then it's eyes on you, right? And it's just like, okay, this might go awful and no one to blame. I can't blame the fucking drummer. Sorry, Mikey. Anyway, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah. Do you have any earlier recordings from any of your older bands?
Oh yeah, I got stuff stashed away on a hard drive somewhere. I think there used to be a MySpace account for my high school band for the longest time, but then they did that like big MySpace wipe, and I think it disappeared. But I still have like we recorded a little 4-song EP in some dude's bedroom somewhere, and that kicks around somewhere. I'd have to dig it up, but I know it exists.
Okay.
I have stuff. I know I have stuff somewhere.
All right. Well, that was a good opening segment for episode 45 with Mr. Andy Negative. I would love to say, if he could dig it up, we could play something from a little blast from the past. But I only
Jesus.
Yeah, I only have like 3 days to edit this and get it up to meet my deadline. Could you do it by then?
I'll see what I can do. I will give it my best shot.
Okay.
I will hit it with my best shot.
So what we're going to do, we're going to take a little break, and then we're going to come back after this song. We have no idea what it's going to be. I have no idea what it's going to be.
This could be good.
But it's going to be something from Andy Negative's illustrious history.
Oh, boy.
And we'll be back. This is Ego and Vice.
We're one citizen, but you use it against us.
Okay. So that was Andy Negative, and he went back into his archives of his life and chipped out a little ditty from the block of ice, and that was something else.
Yep.
We have no idea what we're talking about.
I don't even know what it is yet. Yeah, something. But I can tell you this reaction will be correct.
Yeah. But this is show business, folks. It's
Yeah.
show business. So no, I'm just kidding. So let's talk about Quinzel.
Sure, I like Quinzel.
Okay. How did that come about?
That's a great story. The drummer from the face paint band that I was in, he and I were the only two that stayed in contact afterwards. We just gelled musically really well. So after a year or two of not playing music together, Scott Jeff was looking for someone for. He made the post about the punk rock cover nights a year and a half ago or whatever, and I was like, "Hey, has anyone done Blink-182?" And he's like, "Surprisingly, no." And I was like,
That is surprising.
So I give a shout out to my drummer Jordan, and I was like, "Yo, buddy, how do you feel about doing a Blink tribute night just for fun? Because it could be a thing to do."
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Absolutely." And then I made a post on my Facebook like, "Hey, I might do this. Is any bass players out there?" And this guy that I've known for years through the music scene and have played shows with in other bands and stuff, but had never didn't know very well on a personal level, just sent me a message. Was like, "Hey, I saw that you're looking for this. Do you want to do you need a bass player?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, this is Topher." And we did the thing, and we had so much fun doing it. We were just like, let's just be a band, and
Right.
let's do punk rock because this is fun.
That's how it starts,
Yeah.
right? I think yeah, okay. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so that's it. We were a Blink-182 cover band, and then we were like, cool, that was fun, but let's write some music instead. And everyone was like, "You guys sound a lot like Blink-182." That's because we just played Blink-182 songs for like 4 months straight. That's all we know how to do right now. We'll get over it.
Well, I guess that's how you kind of gel together too. You play some covers and whatnot. And when you start a band, it's not like you can just fucking pull it. Well, I guess some people can, but you got to feel each other out and find some chemistry and whatever. And if it takes cover songs and stuff, or just even personal likes, if you think Blink-182, if you all like Blink-182, then you know what
we do. We really, really do.
Then you kind of find your highway, right? And it's just like, okay, let's write those songs, but not those songs.
Yeah, and so the first couple songs you did, you're just like, okay, cool. Yeah, those are definitely not Blink songs, but they're close. And then the new stuff we're writing is not.
Okay,
Not so much.
before we get too far into Quinzel, and I should ask you this in the first segment, but what was your influences when you were younger though, when it came to music? Well, your introduction to punk rock and the stuff you listened to through high school and whatever.
So Blink was the first guitar driven band that I really listened to.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god! And I'm sure there's tons of dudes that are in their late 20s, early 30s that could be like, yeah, no, I saw Tom DeLonge playing guitar, and I was like, I could do that too, and that's what's up.
Fair enough.
But and then I started looking back a little bit, so I listened to Descendants, and I really like the Descendants, and then the other stuff that's around the same time, like NoFX and Green Day, and then some of the more heavier stuff. So I like the Used, I like My Chemical Romance, I like Thrice was cool-ish, I guess. Alexis on Fire, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, all very like the Used and My Chemical Romance and stuff like that. All very theatrical bands.
Super
too.
theatrical, yeah.
Yeah. Put together stories in their songs, not just get up there and talk about.
Which
shit,
is what I like to do in lyrics, try to tell some sort of a story.
That's cool, man. Yeah. How do you feel about being such a big Blink fan, Matt Skiba?
I think he does a good job, honestly, and that's not a very popular opinion with a lot of people that are like, I like Blink-182 back in 96 and whatever, man. It's a band, get over it.
It's an evolution of a band, Blink-182 for sure. Because if you listen to the earlier stuff and then you listen to when they were just Blink, stuff like that, where it's
so terrible.
Yeah, but it's
it's good. Yeah, I know it's really bad, but good.
Compared to the newer stuff, I got what did I buy? I bought I think the last one I got was California.
Yeah, that's the new one.
That's the newer one
with Skiba. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. It's good.
Yeah, I like Alkaline Trio though to begin with.
Absolutely.
So I was like, oh yeah, whatever. I like Matt Skiba anyway, and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have Matt Skiba play. I was like, yeah, I guess that makes sense. Kind of fits the part.
Okay. I knew of Alkaline Trio, but I never listened to them before. But then Hot Water Music, I think it was Chuck Reagan covered Came to Me Like a Dream.
Yeah.
And that's an Alkaline Trio song. And I was like, the fucking Alkaline Trio, I gotta listen to that. So then it's when I started listening to Alkaline Trio because I heard a cover of a song from Hot Water Music.
That seems about right.
I digress. Sort of. Okay, back to Quinzel.
Ooh.
So you guys started doing Blink-182 songs.
Yeah.
Kind of got
no regrets.
No, absolutely not. That's nothing to be ashamed of. got your feet on the ground as a band, and then you started writing your own stuff. How did that start?
It was just literally, okay, cool, this is fun, let's write music. We don't want to be a cover band, so let's write some music together. So we just started doing stuff. Like, I have so much back catalog of just stuff I've written, right? Because I try to write at least something every day, and not every day does that happen, but I try to write something every day. And then the bass player Topher, he also has books and ideas and stuff, and so it just became like, cool, here's an idea, let's see what we can do with it. Okay, here's an idea, we could go from here to here. And it really was very organic, just like, okay, here's an idea, let's try this. Or sometimes I'll be like, hey, I have this like shell of a song, let's just hammer it out and see where it goes. Yeah.
I find songwriting interesting, and I'm always curious of how people do it individually, because in Goat, I'm the like the primary songwriter, because Paulie will contribute to something like an idea, and Mike will play what we tell him to play. Basically, he's a good drummer. He's a great drummer. Don't get me wrong, but he has a couple of ideas. But I always have to come in with an A to Z type of idea, right, and then fill in the little parts. Yeah. I've tried to like go into like band practice with like nothing and just like start jamming on a thing or something, but it never works out because I don't see a structure. I need to do stuff. So how do you personally go about writing songs?
I just sit down with whatever idea. Some days there's an idea, some days there's not. Some days it's quick, pick up your guitar and do something, man. Stop being lazy, do some work. And then it's like, okay, I'm gonna dick around with the A minor chord for 45 minutes, and then there's something. Okay, cool. Maybe that gives us an idea, or maybe it's a lyric that's in my head, or there's a melody popping around that I'm like, no, I got to turn that into something. It's the thing. Is some days there's something there, and some days you just got to force it.
Right. That's why every musician or every singer-songwriter has more half songs than they do full songs. Right? Oh my God.
I have so many half songs, it's crazy.
What I'll do is I'll grab my phone and I'll just hit the voice recorder if I'm just sitting here watching TV or something, and I'll come up with like a riff or something. And the way I write stuff is it's always really simple. Guitar, like the chord progression is really simple. It's almost like it's been done 1,000 times, but I always try and put some kind of, it won't become a song to me until I find like a little melody over top of it. And sometimes it's just like, it's kind of stock and it sounds like everything else. But then you do this one thing by accident almost, and you get this little weird hook, and you kind of build off that hook, right? And I'll like record it onto my phone, and I'll probably stop because I'll be like, okay, I need to step away from it. And I might even go back to it like next week, and I'll just like flip through what I was doing. And I'll be like, oh yeah, that one. And then you build it off that. Is that kind of...
I'm the worst, because I'll like come up with an idea, be like, okay, that's all right, record it on my phone, forget about it. And then if it's not an idea that sticks in my head, that I'm just like, oh, this song needs to be worked on, oftentimes I will never ever touch it again. So I have I have books with ideas written. I've got my phone like folders and folders of notes. I've got like my recording computer is just full of riffs and ideas and half ideas that you're just like, oh, maybe someday. And then it's like, maybe just never touch those as well. They're probably not that good.
You ever come across like a file, like just an audio file, and listen to it, say it's like 2 minutes long, and you don't even remember doing it?
Or like how to play it at all. Yeah. Like, oh, that's cool. I have no idea how I'm going to even play this.
That's funny. For me, lyrics are always like the last thing, though. Like I'll always like phonetically like la 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 la, but I'll write the song like almost completely. Maybe there might be a line, "Fell off my bike" or some fucking stupid thing. You know what I mean? And I'll kind of focus around that, but I won't write the lyrics until the whole fucking song is done with the la la las and the melody's done, and then I'll sit down, because I find when I was younger, it was easier to write lyrics because I was more angry at things. Like, bro, I have something to say. But the older you get, you can't complain about your parents anymore.
Nope. Well, you can, but that's just like kind of a dick move.
I know, and it just becomes lame and stock and stupid. So I have a lot of problems writing lyrics nowadays.
All right.
I was listening to your set at the Coven, and your acoustic stuff is great. And it does, like we were talking about The Used, we were talking about My Chemical Romance. It does tell a story, and it's very like for one guy standing up there, it is theatrical, and it very much does have a melody, and you have a lot of energy to you too.
Thanks, man.
What do you normally write about?
Just whatever's on my mind for the most part. Sometimes it's like, okay, here's a fictional story I'm going to work on. Or sometimes it's like, hey, I stubbed my toe and it made me angry, so I'm going to write a song about how stupid it is that we have toes with nerve endings in them. And sometimes it's like, hey, I saw a cute girl on the street. I'm going to write a song about that cute girl on the street. Honestly, just like whatever pops into my head at the time.
Cool.
Or some,
Hey, man, if you can make it work and you make it flow and you can make it a song, that's great. When you write your acoustic stuff, Is it completely separate from the Quinzel stuff, or does it cross over and sometimes?
I write a lot of stuff for Quinzel on acoustic guitar as well, because I write a lot on acoustic guitar. It's like the main place that I write. Obviously, sometimes I do, not obviously, but sometimes I do write elsewhere. Like I'm working on a song right now, and it started with like literally I got a theremin patch on my computer and was dicking around with it and was like, oh my god, that's great. And then I built a song around that. But often I'll start with an acoustic guitar and like a melody and a lyric idea and go from there.
Cool. Two different themes, or is it always just kind of your wavelength, your brain?
It's just kind of always the same thing. With Quinzel specifically, there's songs I'll know. I'll be like, okay, that's a Quinzel. That could be a Quinzel song because I'll be like, okay, this is how I can picture it with the two other dudes and us doing the thing. And then sometimes I go like, there's no way that I'm not bringing this to Quinzel. This is definitely something that I can do with Andy Negative, but it's not going to be a Quinzel tune.
I respect that a lot. And do the other guys, I know they help out with like the writing the songs and they have ideas. Are you solely the lyricist?
Nope, no, not at all. Topher writes lyrics. He's got song ideas. He writes a bit less than I do, but he still brings a lot to the table. So I'd say the EP that we did was probably like 55-45, somewhere in that range.
And your styles, it's a good dynamic. Like,
yeah, it's fun.
You wouldn't even know the difference. Like, you guys match really well.
He's got a little more of like a rockabilly blues esqueness to his punk rock, and I've got like what I like to call a shitty-esque to my punk rock. So
shit-esque.
He's a little more on the blues side, and I'm a little more on the like. I come from more of like an industrial / metal / punk rock side of things, like the really more aggressive side of things.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's rad, man. All right. Before we finish up with Quinzel, let's give these people something to listen to, something to chew on.
Yes.
Let's play a Quinzel song. What do you want to hear?
We'll probably do Boxcar Spaceman because that's my favorite.
Boxcar Spaceman. Before we play the song, you guys just made a video for the song.
Yes. Yeah.
You want to give a little something about that?
We went to all the cool, like, not all, we went to a bunch of the local music venues and music endorsing companies around town, and we shot them all like on location. There's Vertigo, Rainbow, Mavericks, Cafe de Cuff, House of Targ. All these places were kind enough to let us just use their establishments to just kind of dick around a little bit with this. We had this Bruce Willis standee from Sin City, and it's us running around Ottawa being chased basically by Bruce Willis, who's like our biggest fan.
I love Quinzel sign. It was something like that. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
So you're gonna hear the song
Boxcar Spaceman.
You're going to hear the song Boxcar Spaceman right now, but for the video, where can people watch the video?
Just on our YouTube channel, Quinzel. I think it's just Quinzel or Quinzel Band. I can't remember off the top of my head.
All right, just
that'd be good to know. But Quinzel,
search it with the song title. I'm sure it'll pop
you'll
up.
find it.
All right, this is Quinzel, and this is Boxcar Spaceman.
I see you now and again. It's kinda strange that we're so
All right, we're
Well-
back. That was Boxcar Spaceman by Quinzel, local band. We're here with Andy Negative.
Hi.
What's Quinzel got coming up?
We're just writing and demoing a full-length record, which we're gonna record, I believe, at Apartment 2 Recordings. I want to give a shout out to my brother and to Topon because they have a great little DIY studio here in the town, and it's just awesome.
They have a website or
Yeah, I think it's apartment2.com, apartment2.ca. I'll figure it out.
We can plug at the end if you want.
Yeah. I'll find it and bring it up. And then we're gonna be playing with. We just got confirmation for a show with Planet Smashers on, I believe, November 16th or 15th. I'll again double check that.
Nice.
Yeah, that's kind of like what we got going on for. Yeah, that's what we got going on for the rest of the year at least. That's what we got planned so far.
When do you expect the record out?
Sometime next year.
Yeah.
We'll kind of do a DIY release for it. Do the hype thing.
Mm-hmm.
Do some music videos probably. Just do
For sure.
the whole workload.
Do the
that comes
media
with
circuit.
that. Yeah, well, it's got to be done, and no one else is going to do it for us, so we may as well just do it ourselves.
Hey man, I'm all DIY. That's that's the only way I can do it because no one's gonna do it for me. So anyway.
I know how that is. I've been doing that for years. It's crazy.
I came across something and I knew something about you.
Uh-oh.
You, like we talked about earlier, you play a lot of your own stuff acoustically in that, but you recently released something which was coined, well, you said it in your own bio, I think.
Yes, those are my words.
It was like your punk rock opera or your rock opera.
Yeah, it's a punk rock opera.
Tell us about that, and it's called SOS.
Or a punk opera, if you will.
Punk opera?
Yeah.
I like it.
If you will.
Coined.
Yeah.
You owe them 50 cents every time anyone says it.
Anytime. No one's ever going to say it, but if they do, it's mine.
So how did that come about, and how do you even go about writing something like that?
It was an incredibly time-consuming process, I'll tell you that. I would suggest if you want to write a punk rock opera, don't. It would be my like major piece of advice.
Quit while you're ahead?
Yeah, any kids out there like, you know what I really want to do? That SOS thing's cool. I should do that. Don't do it, man. It's just like, just write a record and move on with your life. It's not worth the headache. No, it was an idea I had years and years and years ago. This little story about the typical thing, you watch kid dreams of, has aspirations of fame, gets the fame. Turns out that that's not really what he thought it was going to be. And then everything goes to shit. Only I wanted to make it like way worse. So like kind of like Shakespearean tragedy where like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. And then even more shit will go wrong on top of that.
Right.
So I kind of had this story kicking around, and the story went through a lot of iterations. And honestly, I started and stopped so many times. It took me over 5 years of working on it to get it done. And it was a lot of sitting in my bedroom or basement or wherever the studio was that I happened to be living at the time and just like working out parts.
And I guess since it's an opera, how many songs are on the record?
There's I think it's 10 songs, and then the 11th song is the entire thing with no gaps.
So with the music, the way it's laid out, the story starts from note 1 and it ends
at the end of
it.
10,
So as you go through it, it definitely is like a connecting story, even though there's 11 individual tracks.
Yeah, and I wanted to write something kind of more like an actual opera that would not have any sort of, like, it's just one piece of music. It's like a movement of music that starts in one place, and then by the time you're at the end, it's it's still the same, effectively the same song, quote unquote, but it's we are somewhere else as the story has unfolded.
So that was kind of like your labor of love then, little pet project.
Yeah.
If you said it took you 5 years to do it, obviously over the last 5 years you've been doing other acoustic stuff, Quinzel, but you'd always kind of fall back to that.
Yeah, it was one of those things I'd work on it kind of when there was time to work on it.
As far as like the recording of that over the 5 years, did you like record a song year 1 and then record the last one year 5?
No,
or was
definitely not.
It was more of the writing over the course of that time?
Yeah, it was like, here's ideas, okay, and we write, you write, as you're writing a giant piece of music that everything leads into itself, pieces start to get dropped because you're like, oh no, that doesn't make sense, that this whole section's got to go, it's got to be something different, right? So I had a starting point in mind and an ending point in mind, and then there's like musical motifs that happen on the guitar and stuff that come back later on in the story but they're different. Yep. So it needs to still have a similar effect, but the character has realized something, so the way the riff from the beginning comes back because it's characterized around him is different because he just has like a different point of view on things, stuff like that. So it was a lot of like okay, this whole part's done. Now, you know what? No, those riffs aren't right. They need to be different, or the bass part needs to be entirely different, or...
Now, do you have any kind of background in theater or any kind of...
Yeah, a little bit.
So you kind of understood like the process of like, say, like a Broadway play or a live theater thing where it's like it starts and it comes up, and
Yeah.
I don't know the terminology because I'm not... A really good friend of mine is a stage actor.
Okay.
But there's always like I don't know, there's like a verse would be the first act, and then there'd be the climax, and then there'd be the blah, 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 blah.
Resolution and stuff.
Is that what you have to do when you write 11 songs that all have to kind of flow together?
Yeah.
They have to have like a big, like...
The thing is, like, I didn't even look at it as 10 songs, because 11th one is just the whole thing. I didn't look at it as 10 songs. I looked at it as basically like chapters in a story. So it was like, instead of going, okay, this is the party song, this is the sad song, it's more just like as the character's moving through the story, it's happening to him in effectively real time. Here's kind of what he's feeling, and here's how the music around him is changing. So I guess, yeah, I had in mind, he starts here, typical story, we move forward, action, climax, resolution.
Cool. And did you ever have a thought to write like the Decline, just one big long song?
I'd already started this before I found out about the Decline, which is weird because I listened to NoFX, I just didn't know about the Decline, and then I listened to the Decline and was like, yeah, cool, I'm just gonna finish my thing then, because it's not super original, but fuck it, I'm gonna do it anyway.
Have you performed it anywhere?
No, not in its entirety. No.
Would you ever? Have you ever thought about like actually putting on like a production?
Yeah, if I could find a way to make it work. Like, I'd need to find enough musicians to make it work, because there's like stupid parts where I'd have to like either get rid of certain parts or have enough musicians to make it work, because there's parts where there's easily 4 guitar parts happening all at once, like harmonies and stuff.
You need like a backing musical score or something like that.
And I kind of hate backing tracks when I play live. Like, I've done it before, and I'm just not a huge fan of backing tracks.
Something of that idea, though, and I find that really interesting, and I respect that a lot. Just the thought process over the course of the 5 years, because me, when it comes to writing music, I'm really flaky at times. Like, I'll start writing a song that I think's fucking great, and I have this great idea, and I'll come back to it a month later, and I'll listen to it, and I'll be like, I'm never touching that again. You know what I mean? Just to keep that train of thought and actually finish it. That's something, man.
It took a long time.
That's congratulations. Fuck, dude.
Thanks, man.
And I've listened to it, and it sounds fucking fantastic.
Thanks.
It would be really cool to see you like follow through with that, and I hope you do. You don't have to. I'm just saying it would be really cool, and like not even do it at like the House of Targ or Mavericks. Like even try to get in at like the Gladstone Theater or something.
Oh yeah,
that.
I see what you're saying.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And actually do like, I'm not going to compare it, but I'm going to use it as an example. Is like American Idiot when Green Day
because they did do a stage show.
Green
Day
did the Broadway version of American Idiot and stuff like that, and that would be really cool. Like take that idea and make it, an actual production, and so people can hear it, not just just on a record, but
punk rock band.
Yeah, and you can perform it live, and you can actually get your visions of like in between the songs. There's little. I don't know. What the fuck, man.
No, I like that. That's a good idea.
Well, you went this far.
Yeah.
Might as well take it a little further. Another 5 years. What the fuck?
Exactly.
What I mean?
I got lots of time. No, my drummer Jordan, he loves it. Right. He was like there kind of through a lot of as I was making it, and I would always throw stuff at him and just be like, hey, what do you think of this? And he loves it. He's always like, we need to play this live, and I'm like, I know someday we will, but the thing is like three-piece band, it's just too much. Like I can't sing that stuff and play the guitar parts at the same time. I think is the major thing.
Oh, okay. So there's
some like more intricate guitar parts.
That's fair. That's fair.
I just don't think I could play them while singing at the same time.
What is the main? I guess you have a character that you had in mind.
Yeah, his name is Jake Walker.
Jake Walker.
Yeah.
And he's the star, or
he's a degenerate.
The protagonist of.
Yeah, protagonist.
SOS.
Protagonist is a good word. He's a degenerate that lives in a degenerate world that. Gets really famous really fast and doesn't know what to do with it, as most people that happens to don't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And SOS, does that have a...
Should Save Our Souls. It's like the last tune's all about... It's just like a kind of a...
Okay. So it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, yeah.
Yeah, I like that, Very direct, very awesome. That'd be cool, yeah, if you could somehow figure out a way to do it, I'd fucking buy a ticket.
Nice.
I would.
Nice.
Let's play something. How do you play a song? We're gonna have to play the whole record.
Yeah, you just do the whole thing. It's fine. Hey guys, enjoy it. Here's the whole thing.
But okay, here's a question too. If people want to just listen to SOS and they just listen to tracks individually, Are they gonna, they might not get the whole thing, but is it still like an enjoyable thing?
I think you can still listen to it in pieces. I like my preference is people listen to it start to finish, obviously, because I put a lot of work into it. But you can listen to it in pieces. Like the first song, I've had a lot of people tell me like this is just like a really good standalone tune on its own. There's like kind of when because there's a part where he falls into like this like nightmare world because he's asleep and he's like all fucking coked out and is destroying his body and he's ruined, and he has these like really intense nightmares that like affect the way the rest of the story goes. One of those is like this weird esoteric, lots of like spacey sounds and like far away acoustic guitars and stuff that I just think stands alone as like an interesting tune.
I have a proposition for you.
Yes.
With Ego and Vice, I do these individual episodes when I have people in, but I also have a side series called Ego and Vice Spotlight, which kind of focuses in on kind of one thing. A lot of the times it focuses in on bands from out of town. I have had...
I saw you... I actually... this band Nihiloceros.
Nihiloceros.
Yeah, I was doing sound for them when they were at the Rainbow, and I was like listening to you doing like the interview, sitting at the table, over there. I was like, this is awesome!
Yeah. That's Mike and Gabe, and those guys are great. But here's the proposition for you. How about after this episode is edited, I do an Ego and Vice Spotlight on SOS, and I play the whole record back to back?
Cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Hell yeah.
All right, I'll do that. After I'm done editing this and I release this, we'll have the Spotlight on Andy Negative SOS.
I dig it.
Whole fucking thing, front to back.
I dig it, man.
Cool, man. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Awesome. But in the meantime...
Yeah.
Let's just play a track.
Yeah, we'll pick one track off of it.
Okay. Well, you will.
Yes.
I'm not. You don't want me to pick it.
Oh, I have to pick one right now.
He's staring at me. He's
Shit.
like, yeah.
No, it's gone. I guess. I guess we'll start at the beginning because I think it's a good place to start, right? So Everything Burns, which is the first track, which is the introduction to the story, I think is a good place to start.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay, this is Ego and Vice episode 45. I'm sitting here with Andy Negative, and this is off his punk ropera, SOS.
You owe me money.
This is the starting track. It's called Everything Burns.
Sleepless nights and silhouettes and years of therapy have taught me I am just a shadow of the person I'm supposed to be, and everything's a fucking disaster. This life doesn't make any sense. I have to show everyone in the world that I can make a difference and take you down to the dark side of the world, singing songs of disaster as I watch everything burn. Born into this poverty, it's not the path I chose. I spent my whole life chasing luck, fear of love is a ghost. My own reflection stands right next to me, but he wears a disguise, you can see it in his eyes. Everybody tends to agree that we will take you down to the dark side of the world, singing songs of disaster as I watch everything burn. In ignorance we've all been saved, my words are like a virus, I will watch the world bleed and burn. Step into the limelight, open up and see. This message is the monster that burns inside of me. And when we had our fun, by the time we're done, we'll burn up the sun. And we will take you down to the dark side of the world, singing songs of disaster as I watch everything burn. In ignorance we've all been saved, my words are like a virus, I will watch the world bleed and burn.
All right. So this will be the first time in season 2 that I've gone back to the rapid question period. Now, in season 1, I did it almost every episode, but since season 2 started, over the last 6 episodes or something like that, I haven't done it. But I'm bringing it back for Mr. Negative.
Nice.
Are you willing to do the rapid question period?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it done.
Quit.
You must be fuckered, man. Like, what's he talking about? Any questions?
Okay, so that was my theme music. Not bad. It's the same
I
old
liked
theme.
it.
Maybe I'll write new theme music for this episode. I don't know. Anyway.
I liked it either way.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
Yeah.
thank you very much. Thank you very much. I worked 7 minutes on that.
Oh, man.
Excuse me. The way we're doing the rapid questions is I wrote out 30 questions, numbered 1 through 30, just random stuff. I got Andy to choose 10 numbers, 10 random numbers out of 1 through 30, and he chose the 10.
I only picked 9.
That's right.
I made him pick one.
And these are the questions that I'm going to ask him of his choosing
boy.
in no random order or theme.
Yes.
So here we go. You ready?
Yes.
Number 1, biggest musical influence.
Well, Blink-182.
Blink-182. All right, next question. Favorite band as of today?
Oh, my God. Right now I'm listening to a lot of Propaganda and a lot of Seaway.
Cool. Did you go see them at Bronson Center, Propaganda?
No. I saw Seaway, though.
Okay, cool. All right, very good. Let's go with favorite Sunday afternoon.
Coffee and an acoustic guitar.
Any particular place? You have a favorite coffee shop?
No, just on I have a little balcony in my apartment.
Homebrew.
I just like to sit at home and write.
All right. Favorite song as of today?
Hope by the Descendants, I think.
Nice. Okay. Who is your hero?
Me. I don't know. I don't particularly have a hero. My dad's super cool. I don't really have hero worship, so
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Mac or PC?
Both.
Okay.
I use both.
Have you ever broken a bone?
Yes, I've broken.
Do tell.
I've broken a bunch of bones in both of my hands. So I've broken my right wrist a couple times, and I've broken a bunch of fingers in my left hand.
Skateboarding?
Bike accident. Yeah.
Bike accident. Okay. What is your death row person? Someone you'd want to be sitting with you before they walk you to the chair?
Is anybody or a bad person?
Yeah, anybody.
Anybody? I'd really like to. Oh, that's a tough one. Oh boy. Anybody, eh? Frig. Can we come back to that one?
Sure. What is your death row meal?
My death row meal, I think, would be tacos.
Tacos.
I know, I love them.
Another home brew?
Yeah, probably homemade tacos.
Okay. 3 more. Where am I here? One person, dead or alive, you'd love to have a beer with.
I'd love to have a beer with. Damn, this is gonna be all music people. So I would love to have a beer with Mark Hoppus and just see what he has to say about anything. Really, would be great.
Cool. We only got 2 left, and I'm gonna save the last one because you picked number 30, and that's like the final question.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go back to death row person, someone you'd love to have sitting next to you.
H.H. Holmes.
H.H. Holmes?
Yeah, he's like considered the first like American serial killer. He built like this hotel basically that was designed to so he could like crawl around and watch people die. He killed apparently over 40 people, but they only could find evidence for 9.
Crazy. Someone should make a
Yeah.
movie about that guy.
I think they have.
Okay. And the final question on the Rapid Question, Season 2, Episode 45, Mr. Andy Negative. What has been the best day of your life?
This is a good one. It's very recent. I finished a novel, my first novel, which is this.
Finished reading one or
No.
finished writing it?
I've just finished reading my first novel. No, I just finished writing a novel, and it was a huge undertaking, almost as big an undertaking as SOS, but it's effectively the novelization of SOS. So it follows the characters and it extrapolates on what happens in the musical. And I'm really proud of it, and it was a lot of work, and it's probably terrible, but I love it.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
All right, so that was Rapid Questions with Andy Negative. This is Ego and Vice.
Here's to all the wasted days, all the nights we spent in a haze. Raise a glass
righty. Do you have anything you want to plug? Where you been? Where you're going? What Quinzel's doing? SOS? Your book?
Yeah, I think a good place to start is Quinzel's next show. We're playing on November 16th at Mavericks with Planet Smashers. It's gonna be super rad. It's fun. It's just fun.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. As for Andy Negative, I do a lot of YouTube videos and put up music on a semi-regular basis online. So I guess just look me up, Andy Negative, ANNDY Negative, on any social media will really do. I'm working on my Halloween project right now, so I'm pretty stoked for that.
Yeah. Everybody knows how to use the internet.
Yeah,
So I don't want to get the endless emails which I get on how do I find your it's called Google.
Just
my
use the
friends.
name. Just remember, there's 2 N's, not 1.
Yeah, right.
So that's what's
ANNDY.
that confuses some people sometimes, but that's
Cool, man.
yeah.
All right, so I want to thank you for coming out.
I want to thank you for coming out.
All right. Well, I'm at home, so I have nowhere else to go.
Still.
You're a really creative guy. You're a really nice guy. I really enjoyed playing with you. It'd be an honor to play with you if Goat and
Let's do
Quinzel
it.
could
Yeah,
get
let's
together
do it.
and play a gig, or even just me and you doing some acoustic shit.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
What the fuck, man?
Yeah.
Keep an eye out or an ear out for SOS Andy Negative on Ego and Vice Spotlight, which should come out within the next week or so, and it's going to be
So exciting.
the whole punk ropera.
Yeah.
From start to finish, and I'll post all that up and make sure that everybody knows that it's coming out. But again, dude, thank you so much for taking the time,
Thanks, man.
and
It was
I'd
fun.
love to have you back someday, and keep on trucking. All right. If you want to get a hold of me, you can reach me at egoandvice@gmail.com. If you want to listen to the podcast, you can go to egoandvice.com. I'm available on iTunes, Google Play, Facebook, Podomatic, anywhere you can find, podcasts, right? I'm still working on the whole Spotify thing, but my CD Baby thing's starting to fucking piss me off. Goddamn CD Baby. But as for Andy Negative,
Yes.
all right, that's it. My name is Mike. This is episode 45 of Ego and Vice, and we will see you next week.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.